This will work for you to manifest what you desire most in 1 hour or less. And yes, my beautiful friend, you heard me right. I said 1 hour or less, 100% guaranteed. Now, before you think this is just another manifestation video, let me tell you something. I've seen this transform lives right before my eyes. Just yesterday, one of my students used this exact technique and received a life-changing job offer within 47 minutes. This isn't about positive thinking or endless affirmations. This is about something far more powerful that Neville Goddard discovered, and I've refined it for rapid results. Before we dive into this life-changing technique, I want you to know something important. We're entering the season of transformation. Whether you're watching this during the crisp fall months or the reflective winter season, this is your time. I know that you deserve everything your heart desires, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to claim it. Let me share something I've never told anyone on this channel before. 3 months ago, I was sitting in my meditation room, feeling completely stuck. Despite knowing all these manifestation techniques, something was missing. That's when this powerful realization hit me. We've been making manifestation way too complicated. What I'm about to share with you isn't just another technique. It's a complete shift in how you approach manifestation. Let's talk about something that's going to completely transform how you view manifestation. You know, I remember sitting in my garden last summer, feeling frustrated because things weren't manifesting as quickly as I wanted. And that's when it hit me. We've been approaching this all wrong. We've been letting our minds dictate the timeline of our manifestations. Think about this for a moment. When you order something online with next-day delivery, do you spend hours wondering if it'll take weeks to arrive? Of course not. You know it's coming tomorrow because that's what you've experienced. That's what you've been told is possible. Well, my beautiful friends, manifestation works exactly the same way. Let me introduce you to what I call the potential of possibilities. You see, your mind is like a thermostat. If you set it to 70 degrees, it'll maintain that temperature no matter what. If you believe something will take 5 years to manifest, your mind will create exactly the circumstances to make it take 5 years. It's not being cruel. It's simply following your instructions. I want to share something powerful that happened with one of my students, Angela. She had been trying to manifest a dream job for 2 years. 2 whole years. When she came to me, the first thing I asked her was, "Why 2 years?" She looked confused and said, "Well, that's how long these things take, right?" And there it was, the limiting belief that was controlling her entire manifestation timeline. Let me give you some real-world examples that prove how arbitrary our timelines are. When Elon Musk gathered his top engineers at Tesla, they told him a production problem would take 6 months to fix. But Musk simply said, "No, we're fixing it in 24 hours. And guess what? They did it. When JFK announced we'd put a man on the moon, experts said it would take 25 years to develop the technology. He said we'd do it in 10 years or less. We did it in 8. You see, time is not a fixed concept when it comes to manifestation. It's fluid, it's flexible, and most importantly, it responds to your level of certainty. Think about this. How long does it take for water to freeze? You might say 32 degrees Fahrenheit, but under certain conditions, water can freeze instantly. Your manifestations work the same way. Under the right conditions, with the right mindset, they can happen instantly. The real shift happens when you stop letting your past experiences dictate your future possibilities. Your mind might say, "But it took me 3 years to manifest my last relationship." So what? That was operating under your old beliefs, your old system. We're creating a new system today, a new reality where time bends to your certainty. Let me share with you what I consider the most powerful manifestation formula I've ever discovered. This isn't just another technique. This is a complete rewiring of how manifestation works in your life. And it all starts with 3 simple words: I am certain. Let's break this down in a way that will transform how you manifest forever. When you say, I am absolutely certain, you're not just speaking words, you're declaring a state of being. Think about when you're absolutely certain about something simple, like your name. If someone questioned your name, you wouldn't doubt it for a second, right? That's the level of certainty we're aiming for. But here's where it gets really interesting. The phrase within the next hour isn't arbitrary. I've tested this extensively with thousands of students, and there's something magical about the 1 hour timeline. It's long enough to allow the universe to rearrange circumstances, but short enough to prevent your logical mind from creating doubt and resistance. Let me share a personal story that illustrates this perfectly. Last month, I needed to manifest an important document for a business deal. Usually, this document takes weeks to process. I sat in my office, looked at the clock. It was 2:15 p.m., and I declared with absolute certainty that I would have this document by 3:15 p.m. At 3:02 p.m., I received an email with the document attached. The sender apologized for the delay, saying they had actually prepared this weeks ago but forgotten to send it. You see, when you declare what I desire to manifest will happen, you're not making a wish or a hope. You're stating a fact. It's like declaring that the sun will rise tomorrow. Would you ever doubt that? This is where most people get it wrong. They treat manifestation like a cosmic lottery when it's actually more like a cosmic law, as reliable as gravity. Now, beautiful souls, let me introduce you to what I consider the master key to instant manifestation, the flow state of certainty. This is where everything we've talked about comes together in a beautiful symphony of creation, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to access this state at will. Imagine for a moment that you're standing in a river. When you fight against the current, what happens? You struggle, you tire yourself out, and you barely move forward. But when you align yourself with the flow, you move effortlessly downstream. This is exactly how manifestation works in the flow state. The flow state of certainty is what I call the sweet spot between active creation and complete surrender. It's not about forcing things to happen, and it's not about passively waiting either. It's about maintaining that perfect balance where you're absolutely certain of your manifestation while being completely detached from how it will unfold. Let me share something profound that happened during one of my workshops. We had a participant, Michael, who had been struggling to manifest a very specific business opportunity. He had been forcing, using every technique he knew. During the workshop, I guided him into the flow state of certainty. Within that 1 hour session, he received a phone call about an even better opportunity than the one he had been trying to manifest. Here's what most people don't understand about the flow state. It's not about what you're doing, it's about who you're being. When you're in this state, you're being the person who already has what they desire. You're not hoping, wishing, or even believing. You're knowing. It's like being hungry and walking into your favorite restaurant. You don't hope they'll serve you food. You know they will. Remember this. Your manifestation becomes inevitable when you enter this state because you're no longer trying to make something happen. You're simply allowing what is already yours to come into physical form. It's like opening your front door to let in a package that's already been delivered. The universe is just waiting for you to get into the right state to receive it. You see, these aren't just techniques we're talking about. These are real transformations happening in real people's lives, often faster than they ever thought possible. Let me tell you about Rachel, and this happened just last week. We were sitting in my office trying to manifest something that seemed absolutely impossible. World Series tickets. Not just any tickets. We needed 3 specific seats, and the event was completely sold out. Every website showed nothing available. Now, most people would have given up right there. But Rachel looked at me and said those powerful words we just learned. I am absolutely certain that 3 perfect tickets will show up within the hour. You want to know what happened? Within, And I'm not exaggerating here. Within 10 minutes, she refreshed one of the websites, and there they were. 3 tickets, perfect location, exactly what we needed. The seller had just posted them moments before. But here's the really interesting part. When we contacted the seller, they said they had been holding onto these tickets for weeks, and something just told them to post them at that exact moment. But wait, because this gets even better. One of my clients, let's call her Angela, came to me after not hearing from her ex for 17 months. Now, I usually don't recommend focusing on specific persons, but this was different. During our session, she used this exact technique of absolute certainty. She didn't say, "I hope he calls," or "I wish he would reach out." No, she looked at me and said, "I am absolutely certain he will call within the next hour with a complete change of heart." My beautiful friends, not only did he call within that hour, but today, and this still amazes me, they're married with a beautiful child. The universe didn't just deliver her manifestation, it exceeded her wildest expectations. Now, let me explain why this works at such a deep, fundamental level. You see, when you enter this state of absolute certainty, something profound happens in your brain and energy field. Scientists have actually studied this using advanced brain imaging technology. When you're in a state of hoping or wishing, your brain shows patterns of anxiety and uncertainty. But when you shift into absolute certainty, your brain waves change to what's called a gamma state, the same state achieved by master meditators with decades of practice. Think about this. When you're absolutely certain about something, like the sun rising tomorrow, does your body show any signs of stress or doubt? No. Your entire being is aligned with that certainty. This is exactly what we're doing with our manifestations. It's like having a GPS in your car. When you enter a destination, the GPS doesn't hope you'll get there. It doesn't wish for the best route. It operates with absolute certainty, recalculating when needed, but always knowing you'll reach your destination. This is how your manifestation power works when you operate from certainty. The difference between hoping and knowing might seem subtle, but it's actually quantum. When you hope, you're operating in duality, creating both the possibility of success and failure. But when you're certain, you collapse all possibilities into one inevitable outcome. When you declare your certainty, your entire nervous system shifts. Your heart rate variability improves, your stress hormones decrease, and your body literally enters an optimal state for receiving. You're no longer trying to make something happen. You're allowing what's already yours to manifest in physical form. First, and this is absolutely vital, once you declare your certainty, do not, and I mean do not, keep checking your phone or email every minute. Think about it. When you order something for next day delivery, do you check your tracking number every 5 minutes? Of course not. That kind of behavior actually creates resistance and doubt. I learned this the hard way. When I first started using this technique, I would declare my certainty about a manifestation and then spend the entire hour obsessively looking for signs. You know what happened? Nothing, because I wasn't in a state of certainty. I was in a state of anxious waiting. Second, during that hour, avoid telling others about what you're manifesting. This is your sacred space, your quantum field of creation. When you tell others, you often invite their doubts and limiting beliefs into your manifestation process. Here's something most teachers won't tell you. During your hour of certainty, it's perfectly okay to go about your normal activities. In fact, it's preferred. When you're certain about something, you don't put your life on hold waiting for it. You continue living, knowing it's already done. Think about breathing. You're absolutely certain your next breath will come, right? So certain that you don't even think about it.